I did my bold predictions for the forthcoming championship season on the channel yesterday as part of the bargain. I said I would react to last season's bold predictions. So, ever, a man of my word, here we are. I hadn't seen these for 12 months. I make a lot of videos. I've completely forgotten what I said. So, some of these are, some of them are all right. Some of them, bloody terrible. Let's start with one in that bracket. My first bold prediction for the 24-25 championship season is Wayne Rooney will still be Plymouth manager. What date is it? On July the 30th, 2025. No, he won't, Ben. He absolutely will not. Look, they're supposed to be bold predictions. Everyone was telling me Rooney will be sacked by Christmas. So I went the other way and said, no, he's going to do great. He's going to survive. Plymouth will get the best out of him. He did last until Christmas, about 6 days after Christmas. I think it was like New Year's Eve. Rooney did go out of Plymouth. And it's not really funny because they're now in League One. And a lot of that has been put down to Waz's not very good managerial run there. So, yeah, not a great start. This one's better, though. Let's predict a fourth consecutive season of 90 points or more for Daniel Farke. The problem with predictions is whenever I get one right, because everybody's lived the reality where that thing actually happened, they all go, oh, well, that's obvious, Ben. You know, Daniel Farke getting 90 points. Well, you know, it's a very high-pressure job there, and he needed to be getting up there or projecting that way to even stay in that job at Leeds. He did obviously get 90 points. In fact, he got 100, three figures for Daniel Farke. And, I mean, fact check me in the comments here. He must have the highest points per game of any championship manager ever, who's managed kind of more than a couple of seasons. Outstanding stuff from Farke and me, even if I do say so myself. Here's number 3. I predict Middlesbrough striker Emmanuel Latte-Lath will have 11 goals after 12 appearances for Borough this season. Okay, Emmanuel Latte-Lath did finish with 11. He did reach 11. Obviously, he left in the January transfer window to go to Atlanta United in MLS. Did he have 11 after 12 appearances? No. I was predicting he was going to mirror his end to the previous season. He had 4. And then he stat padded it a little bit with a hat-trick against Oxford. So, yeah, I went all out on Latte-Lath and, yeah, fell flat on my latte face. Here comes number 4. Sammy Smodic, the top goal scorer, and Cree Somerville, the player of the year. I'm going to boldly predict that Mr. Somerville and Mr. Smodic will no longer be at championship clubs by August the 31st. Yeah, I mean, well, that one seems obvious now because it happened and Somerville obviously went out to West Ham. Smodic ended up at Ipswich and it all happened pretty quickly, didn't it? Smodic actually played one sub-appearance, did he? Or a couple of sub-appearances? Got a couple of goals as well. Really forced through his move there with some good performances. And look, Smodic is back. Somerville is making his way in the big league now with West Ham. I think some injury problems last year as well. I suppose who are the equivalents this year? Are there big, glaring, obvious names that are going to go out? By the way, that was all linked to the award-winning names, none of them being there. But yeah, it was a fairly safe one for a bold prediction, but it did all happen as I said it would. Number 5. All 4 places will be filled by a team that's been in the playoffs over the past 2 seasons. Okay, so I was saying that the playoffs were just going to be full of the same old teams. Well, Coventry, that was a tick, wasn't it? Because they were, I said in the last 2 seasons, they would have been in 2 seasons ago, losing in the final on penalties, sudden death to Luton. Sunderland, who also lost to Luton on their way to the Premier League, they were in there. So I said 4 out of 4. Well, 2 out of 4, in the words of Meatloaf, isn't very good, really, is it? And that's not a very good analogy because in the other playoff semi-final, Sheffield United, who certainly didn't need the playoffs 2 seasons ago, they finished second to get up. And Bristol City, well, needed to avoid that one because they hadn't been in the... How many years? Was it like 18 years or something? 18 years. Am I allowed to sing Kanye on here? Do I get cancelled for doing that? Probably do. But yeah, they hadn't been in for the longest time. Certainly not the last 2 years. So yeah, kind of halfway there with that one. Neither here nor there. Here comes number 6. Surely it's going to be a lot easier this season. So I am going to predict that if you were to score 86 points, let's take 10 off, 86 points is going to be the total for second place this season. No, it's not. So look, let's be very clear about what I actually said. I said 86 points are going to be the total for second, i.e. the team who finishes second will score 86 points. Well, Burnley finished second with 100 points. So I'm a long way out with that. And if you watch back the video, we'll link it at the end. My argument was, it can't be like it was last year. And I'm obviously talking about Leicester 97, Ipswich 96, Leeds 90. It was even more pronounced, wasn't it? 100, 190 with Leeds, Burnley, Sheffield United. So, I mean, you can see what I've predicted this season when we link up at the end. But I'm going to say it again. Surely it can't be that ridiculous again. But no, 86 points. Well, it would have got you 4th position if you add it up, though. This was a bit spurious, isn't it? You know, just coming up with a number and not actually affecting the results. But let's not get into the minutiae. I was wrong by quite a distance. Here's number 7. I predict that someone will survive this season, probably in 21st place, let's be honest, with 47 points. You see, the mistake I've made there is I've doubled down, haven't I? I've obviously gone, well, if it's tighter at the top, will we get a squeeze all the way around in the league and a more even distribution rather than just the teams at the top, frankly, beating the entire middle order? And then we had that rising tide. I thought, well, that can't happen. Yeah, it absolutely can. So I said you would survive with 47 points. No. So Luton were relegated with 49. Hull obviously surviving on final day with that. They win at Pompey or did they draw? Can't even remember. Anyway, they did what they needed to do down at Fratton and got out of Dodge, and Luton were relegated. I'm going to say it again. We're going to get people have people getting relegated on 50, 49. Okay. Stands to reason then. Let's follow that trend down another point. It'll be 48 this year, won't it? You mark my words. Here's number 8. Let's predict that it's going to maintain. It seems unfeasibly high, but I predict 20 or more managerial changes over the 2014. I might give myself that one because I think there was 16 changes in season, weren't there? And then pretty much straight after the season finished, I think Watford changed, didn't they? Norwich changed pretty much immediately. Middlesbrough did. West Brom, had they already done it? I think they might have done it before the season ended. It might count in my 16. There must be another one in there. I'm having Plymouth, Muslik. I know they got relegated. There's probably another one that I'm missing out. So I'm having that because I didn't specify in that clip. Maybe if you watch the whole video. I just said across the 24 teams, kind of across the season before next season. And if you watch the latest bold predictions, I have gone the other way for next season. So hopefully the managerial madness will stop. But are you going to let me have that? You're probably not, are you? I'm giving it myself. To be bold, let's say 5 of the teams. So Luton, Sheffield United, Burnley, Pompey, Derby, Oxford. Let's say 5 of those teams will still be in the Championship next season. Right, I'm going to blame this all on Luton. So I said 5 of the new teams in the Championship. So the 3 that came down and 3 that came up would still be there as we're talking today. Well, Burnley, clever Burnley, they got themselves promoted. Sheffield United are indeed still there. They lost in the playoff final. The 3 League One teams, brilliant, all survived as predicted. Derby, Oxford and Pompey. And if Luton didn't have the most ridiculously disastrous season and get themselves a double relegation with a year 1 parachute payment as well, silly Billy's Luton, I would have been right, wouldn't I? It's only 4 out of 6 as opposed to 5. See, I went really bold. I should have just gone with the 4 and I would have been all right. But who would have predicted? None of you. Luton going straight through double relegation style. Here's the last one. Thank God this is over. -2 already for Sheffield United, I know. But let's keep our fingers crossed that there are no deductions and certainly that nobody is relegated with a points deduction for whatever reason this coming season. What a wholesome way to finish. See, I was thinking of the greater good and the wider game there. We didn't want any more points deductions. We did not get any more points deductions other than that kind of historic -2 that I mentioned, which was for Sheffield United non-payment stuff previous time they were in the EFL. Needless to say, I will not be making that same prediction this season because we think we're guaranteed at least a couple of points deductions, and we will see what transpires when figures are submitted or not. It might be one for that in, December the 31st. There we go. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Some pretty good ones in there. I think the 90-point Farker was a good one, wasn't it? I mean, the Rooney one, that stinks. That absolutely stinks to high heaven. I'm sorry. I got that one badly wrong. But you put yourself out here. And as I say, if you can't be right, be bold. And you too can be bold if you click up there. That is the new set of bold predictions ahead of our more serious 1 to 24 predictions that we'll do on the channel. We recorded them yesterday. And if you want to see the full evidence of this video, my full reasoning and rationale for some good, bad, and indifferent predictions, then check that one out too.